What's going on, guys? It's Thomas from the Switch Shop, joined as always by Mac and PJ for the 43rd, I believe, episode of Nintendo Tonight.
Yep.
This is a huge one for us because a lot of stuff has happened behind the scenes. You guys, if you saw the last episode, you know that Mac and PJ were up at my house for PAX East, where we got to play Breath of the Wild. That was so cool. Or Tears of the Kingdom. Just kidding. No, we didn't get to play either of those games, actually, because they were demoing. They were demoing Yoshi's Crafted World instead, which is so cool. If you want to hear our full thoughts, obviously. Yeah, and the original Mario Bros. For some reason. If you want to hear full thoughts on that, you can check out the last podcast. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We have a bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes with Nintendo Tonight. But long story short, we know we've kind of been like baiting you guys along, saying like, oh, now we're going, now we're going to be uploading more frequently and all that stuff. Now that is actually the case. We will be uploading weekly from this point on. We might miss a week here and there, but we're playing 100%. Like seriously,
never missing.
Not even joking. Never. We're not lying. Actual weekly episodes.
For the rest of time until one of us dies, we'll be posting weekly.
Hey, I don't know about you guys, but if I die, I hope you continue the pod without me.
Yeah?
Let it live on. Oh yeah, big time.
Do we replace you? Would you want us to replace you, or do you want us to just be me and PJ?
What did the Try Guys do when one of their boys got like super canceled?
I think they just went on, right? I think they just kept going. So we'll just keep going.
No replacement? Yeah, then don't replace me. Just let it run.
We'll have like a little hacky sack version of Thomas. On
put a little like VTuber and then just like text to speech something about 3D World every episode.
We'll use
and
AI
that basically is what I do anyway. Yeah, ChatGPT can basically replicate me in 2 seconds. Which I have a funny story about that, but I'll save it for later because my like job that is not YouTube asked me to do some like looking on ChatGPT stuff, and it's just like it's so funny to see like companies who are even companies that I'd say are like relatively in touch with technology, which the company I work at is. It's just interesting to see how they're using AI. But regardless, we're not here to talk about AI. We'll talk about that later, if at all. We have today a first for the Nintendo Tonight crew. We've done a lot of segments in the past. We've done some trivia. We've done some ranking. We've done a bunch of different stuff. We've done some friendly competitions. Now we are going to kind of combine all those into a Nintendo Switch games draft. So all three of us each have 5 different games that we're going to draft. The way the draft works is it's not just a ranking, because if I take a game, then anyone who picks after me cannot take that game. It's like they're off the draft board. If you watch any sport... Can we trade picks? We could potentially trade at the end. If we add in trades at the end, that would actually be so funny. We could totally make some trades.
Awesome.
Yeah, with that out of the way, it's just going to be pretty simple, straightforward. This is the first for the channel, but hopefully not the last. If you guys enjoy this, we have a lot more ideas for drafts we could do moving forward. Like different, we could do GameCube games, we could do Mario characters, Mario levels. Like there's literally infinite amount of content for us to do here. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. And then kind of speaking on that, we have this draft coming up, and then we also have a couple other ones planned that we're definitely going to do just because we're excited about, running them. So we're going to get you guys involved. So what the plan is currently is we're going to put up a community post on the Nintendo Tonight YouTube channel. So if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Music, make sure to go and sub to the channel, put that notification bell on so I think you get notified when the community poll comes out, because you're going to want to take place in this. Sorry, we were going to originally put it up on Twitter, but then Elon Musk had other plans. Now you have to have Twitter Blue to vote in polls. We're not going to give our opinion on that here. Actually, we will. It's pretty stupid. It's actually really stupid. It's a terrible
Everything he's
idea.
Doing with the verifications and all, it's
so bad. It's so bad.
It could not be worse.
I don't even know like what's going through his mind, but anyways, do we want to just get right into this? Yeah,
so let me just explain why they should vote in the poll. The reason you guys should vote is because for this first draft, we're going to be doing a snake draft, which is basically Mac is going to go first with the first overall pick, then PJ, then me. But instead of then just going back to Mac, so he's first every time, has more games to pick from, we're then going to go with me for the second time and then like kind of rotate in a snake-like pattern. That way it's more fair. But we're going to abandon that after this first ever draft, and that way you guys... Whoever wins the draft gets the first overall pick, or I guess they could defer, but that would be Nintendo Tonight first and hopefully only, because that's a terrible decision to give up the number 1 pick. It's kind of like what the Bears did in the NFL draft, but hey, that's or Panthers, I don't know. Whoever
They're already clicking off because we talked about sports.
Yeah, sports. We're done with sports talk, but yeah, you want to vote because whoever wins the draft, whoever has the best team, will then get to pick first for the next draft, which is actually like a really important thing, because there are drafts where there's a clear number 1 overall pick. Like if we're picking, if we're doing like best Nintendo consoles, like I think all of us would choose the Switch. So that's like, that's a pretty important time to have the first overall pick. I don't know. You would probably choose the Wii, honestly, and maybe PJ GameCube. I don't know. But bad example, but you guys get the point. With that out of the way, let's get started with this Nintendo Switch games draft. Mac, that's all you. You're first.
Okay, I'm going first.
You have the first overall.
I have the first overall pick.
Big honor. The first overall pick in any Nintendo Tonight draft ever.
Historical.
All right.
Yeah.
This might be crazy, but for the first overall pick, I'm taking Tears of the Kingdom, a game that hasn't even came out yet.
Can I throw a flag on that?
I think we throw a flag. It's not even out, man. It's not even out, man.
How does it? It comes out in like 2 months. I can't pick it.
It's not out. How about you just go with the first game? How about that one?
Fine, I'll go with Breath of the Wild.
If you have to. If it's not that big of a deal.
I'll go with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, what a shame. You're only getting what many consider to be the best game of all time. Oh, poor you, Mac.
I don't know. I think this is probably the easiest pick in the draft. I think Breath of the Wild is like the game that comes to mind when you think about the Switch. It was Game of the Year 2017. There's really nothing I think that even comes close on this list of games.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm sorry for throwing that flag there. I hate to be a bad sport on the first overall pick, but I'm taking it serious.
I see what we're doing.
Game's not out, and it just seems a little premature, if you know what I'm saying. But
yeah.
I respect it. I respect your gumption for trying to go for it, to try and see if we'd let that slide. I totally respect it, and give this another couple weeks, and then I think there's a very, very good chance that Tears of the Kingdom takes the number 1 spot if we do like a Redux a year from now.
I wonder if it's going to be like seen as better than Breath of the Wild. I don't know.
I think it almost has to be, because it seems like it's just Breath of the Wild with better mechanics. Yeah. Like, it takes the problems. We'll get into this because later in this podcast, we're going to be talking all about Tears of the Kingdom with that new gameplay demo. So actually, I'll just save my thoughts for it there. But I think it will be. Of course, there will be some hippies who are like, oh, the original is better, blah, 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 blah. But, like, from what we've seen, it looks like Tears of the Kingdom is better in just about every way.
Yep. All right, PJ?
Second overall pick. It's a clear choice, I think. I can't believe I'm letting Thomas have Mario Kart, but I'm going to have to go with Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah. You have
next on my list.
You have to. I think it's probably like the second best game on the system. Kind of changed 3D Mario in a whole new way. Like, you just got to take it.
I completely agree. I think it's like that's like the only one that even comes close to comparing with Breath of the Wild to me, because like even though I love Mario Kart, it's so tough to not take one of those two amazing games as your first 2 overall picks.
It hurts so bad letting you have Mario Kart though.
Yeah, I think the thing with Super Mario Odyssey, it's like the game that Mario fans were clamoring for literal decades since like Sunshine. They've been begging for a Mario game like that, and that the fact that we finally got one, I think it kind of has to be this high up for sure.
Because if you kind of go back a little bit and you look at like 3D Land and 3D World, like back then they were not like regarded as great as they are today. So like Odyssey was really like the game that was like, okay, we're still doing these types of games, rather than like people thinking they made that whole shift over to like the 3D World and like 3D Land style. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I completely agree. I guess in that case, we'll move to the third overall pick, my first pick. With my first pick, I gotta go with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. You guys both knew it was coming, but with the Booster Course Pass, we have 96. I don't care if it's a port. We have 96 different courses. Of course, even without the courses that we haven't gotten yet, I'd still take this game. We got characters coming. We just got Birdo. Who knows what else they're going to add? No one thought they'd add new courses. No one thought they'd add new characters. But here we are. I mean, it's just, it has to go number 3, just for the replay value alone, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's kind of turning into like, you know, the Mario Kart that people will like think of decades from now. Like, it's kind of getting like, this is a weird example, but like the Minecraft treatment, where it's like getting constant updates over like years and decades. I think I don't even know if we're going to get a Mario Kart 9, if I'm going to be honest, for like years, in my opinion. I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the Mario Kart that will be on Nintendo consoles for at least probably the next 2 generations, I think.
They've gone so far with the game, added so many updates. Like, you'd think Mario Kart 9 or Mario Kart 10, whatever they call it, is hard to think about right now, you know?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I know Tour's 9. I'll shut up.
Mario Kart is Mario Kart Tour Mario Kart 9. I mean, Who knows? I
Leave a comment.
I don't even want to. Yeah, leave a comment. Let us know.
Don't even. It's just not. It's just not.
Mac is not a fan of that discussion right there. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. So I want to round out my team a little bit. There's a game I really want to take here, and I think you guys know what it is, but I'm not going to take it because
You're not going to take it?
He's not gonna. Oh my god.
I'm not going to take it. I'm gonna hope it drops all the way down into mine. Knowing that I just said that, it probably won't. But I don't want to double up on Mario here. Instead, with my second overall pick, I'm going to go with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I want to get the two kings of couch co-op multiplayer. The two kings. Like, those are the two games that when you have friends over, you want to play. Because in my opinion, there's not a great Mario Party on Switch. I mean, Superstars doesn't have more than 5 boards. I think my team is looking great because I got... Like, we're always going to be having fun in the locker room. That's all I gotta say.
When we were up in Boston, the 2 games we played together, the 3 of us, was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Smash Ultimate. So I think it's a very, very good pick.
Thank you, man. I appreciate like GM to GM, coach to coach. We just got a lot of respect here between the 3 of us.
Yeah, we may be going in different directions. You're more of like a offensive multiplayer guy, while I may be going like a different direction, which I won't say, but I respect your pick. Yeah.
It's a good pick. I have to respect it. It's just, it was going to be mine. It's a damn shame.
Yeah, I know.
It is a shame. All right. Who's up? Me? Yeah?
You, bro. I got the draft board, by the way, just for you two. I got the draft board in the Discord right now, so you can check that.
Yeah,
it's on general. I'll be
Beautiful.
updating it, so just so we're not stepping on anyone's toes here. I don't know if you guys were writing down what picks were coming off the board or not, but I got the draft board up in general of the Nintendo Tonight Discord. But yeah, PJ,
Wonderful.
It's your turn. Go right ahead.
This is tough. I really got to look at the prospects for a second here.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I kind of have to. I know you said, you hoped that it wouldn't drop too far, but it's one full game, and then there's an add-on as well in the Switch version. Got to take 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. I mean, like, you took my game, I got to take yours. It is what it is.
That's an incredibly bold move, considering Odyssey's already on your team.
Yeah,
he's going the 3D Mario route.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which, isn't terrible.
No, these kids are very talented. I'm telling you, they have great chemistry.
I respect it. I mean, you're
really
not diversifying much, but I just love to see it. I mean, you got two
incredible
what's up next? Superstars.
Yeah,
that messes up what I had going on, because now I'm like drawn from number 7, because I had basically everything that I had in my top 6 was taken. Plus, I had Tears of the Kingdom in there, which I couldn't pick for some reason.
Yeah,
flag on the play. This is a competitive draft, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
I get heated in here.
I would go with my number 7, but I'm not sure it's the right pick. I wonder if I go somewhere else. Okay, I'm going to make this pick. I'm going to go with Super Mario 3D All-Stars.
Wow.
Whoa.
Okay, coming off the board early. I was going to take that if you didn't.
You
weren't?
It's
3 for the price of 1.
That makes me feel a little better, because I wasn't confident in that pick. But I don't know. It's got 3 of the greatest games of all time. It's the 3D All-Stars collection. I don't think there was any scenario where it gets far out of the 3rd round. So I think I needed to pick that.
Yeah.
I respect
What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I respect it for sure. Like you said, 3 of the greatest games of all time. Galaxy 2 didn't make it, didn't deserve it. That's a whole other discussion. But yeah, I mean, like, it had to be here, right? Has to.
Yeah. I've got a question. Who decided the order of picking? Who was that?
It's the snake draft that I explained prior.
Yeah,
So
but you get 2 picks within the top 4, while I get 2 picks within the top 6.
Oh.
Just saying.
Whoa.
Hey, man, don't shoot the messenger. I thought we all agreed on
Maybe we should have had Kate
if you win this draft, you'll go first. If you win the draft, you go first next time. So if you guys think Mac was gypped in the comments, then please go ahead. But Mac,
I'm just
in the virtue of the snake draft, you get to go again right now. So if you want to take your 3rd pick, go for it.
My 3rd pick. God, I hate all of these games. I don't hate all these games. I hate that Okay.
Oh God, don't say it.
What do you think I'm gonna say?
I don't want to say it out loud.
I was trying to get him there.
Trying to do a little research here.
Unbelievable.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Animal Crossing: New Horizons.
Oh no.
I respect it.
You respect? Yeah.
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 I think
You are taking all the single player games right now, by the way.
I
You are
know.
building out a single player powerhouse over
Yeah.
on your team. Breath of the Wild, 3D All Stars, and New Horizons, that's a dastardly trio.
you can
Yeah.
spend a lot of hours in all of those games.
That
I
is
think
true.
the game, yeah. I think Animal Crossing, just my whole thing, I think just the cultural impact that game had, I think is so massive. Even if the game is a little bare bones, I think it's Animal Crossing: New Horizons. Like it took over like the entirety of like gaming in early 2020. Like I think it's the game that defines that time period. So I think I needed to take it, honestly, because I don't think it was getting far past my next pick.
That's
I
fair.
respect it.
Yeah. All right, PJ.
I have, a lot of kind of single player games. A 3D World, you can have multiplayer, but I'm going to actually kind of take a surprise pick here. I'm going to have to go with Splatoon 2, not 3, because
Ooh,
3 is
okay.
mid.
Interesting.
Splatoon 2, I mean, like, one of the best games, like, on the system for sure. Like, Splatoon 1 was really successful on the Wii U, and the Switch was, like, way more successful than that. So, like, carrying that success over, like, it's just great on the Switch. So, had to.
Yeah.
It's an interesting pick. I wasn't on my draft board, so I'm fine with you taking it. But yeah, I think Splatoon 2 is a great game. I probably would have gone for 3 if I were you. I feel here's the problem with games like Splatoon 2 and 3 on like this draft board is that they're gonna like in 2 years be empty lobbies, I feel. And if you go, I think Splatoon, I think it's an interesting pick. I don't really have much to say past that though.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can add on to that is you just made my next pick a lot easier because I was deciding between Splatoon 2 and 3. I'm going to take Splatoon 3 because, in my opinion, that game will continue to get updates. Even though I personally believe at launch it is worse than Splatoon 2, the fact that they're only updating once every 3 months means it will get updates for a while, at least it should. We still have a single-player campaign on the way, and I'm not factoring any future things into the decision, Max, so I'm not trying to...
No, I baited you into picking that. I wasn't going to pick it.
No, I was going
right there.
I was going to pick it. It was next on my draft board for the main reason of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Great games. If you're playing alone, only so much of those you can play. With Splatoon, it's online, and its online is good, and that's like the main point of the game.
Yeah.
So you can play that single player, quote unquote, not the single player campaign, but you play it by yourself, and that's one of the games. I was gonna take New Horizons because that's like the single player experience in my opinion, but Splatoon 3, it was next up on the board. It had to be picked. I'm trying to round out my team, not trying to go only couch co-op. So
that's all right.
I'm shocked that you took that because literally I was standing right next to you in person and you said Splatoon 3 literally added a DLC for a hub world. Like,
yeah, it was
can't
crazy.
believe you took
It
that.
is crazy they did that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I need some sort of multiplayer experience, and
That's fair.
everyone knows I'm not taking ARMS. So
Okay,
Jeez.
I don't know if this pick is going to get me points, but I think it is
Wait.
the correct pick.
sorry, what's your pick? Well, what were you gonna pick?
I was explaining that.
All right, I feel too bad. It's technically my pick up next. I get 2 in a row. Because
wait,
of this.
really?
I was trying to bait
true.
you into saying what yours was, but I won't. After
that's
throwing the
scummy.
flag, I won't.
Yeah,
I won't do that.
I'm glad I didn't fall for it.
Yeah, you almost did. I was trying
almost
to bait you pretty hard there.
Yeah.
Keep the flag on your belt, dude. Come on now.
Now this is interesting. I think this is an unorthodox move, especially for this podcast. But I'm gonna go with Pokemon Scarlet.
Oh my god, man.
Wow.
I want more.
Why would you
single-player
do
games.
that?
right now? I love these picks.
Oh my god.
I
dude.
want more single player games that you can play at infinitum. And I love Legends, but from what I've seen between the two games, Scarlet has more replayability. it's an open world, which is cool, and the bugs suck, but the core gameplay is the most fun out of any Pokemon game, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna rock with Pokemon Scarlet, and that does take Violet off the board as well, because it's the same
That's
game.
fair. That's fair.
All right.
Yeah, I'm glad you took that,
Disrespect.
because not one Pokemon game was on my list, because I think all of the
Yeah.
Switch Pokemon games kind of suck.
I respect that. I do respect that opinion, but I see the potential in this guy, and I think he'll gel well with my other picks. Because, like,
Yeah.
I'm just looking at my board right now. Here, we can actually... we probably should have done this after round 3, but we'll just look at the first 3 rounds. I won't count Scarlet. Mac's team consists of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario 3D All-Stars, and Animal Crossing New Horizons. PJ's team consists of Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and then Splatoon 2. And then my team consists of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Splatoon 3. So all our teams kind of have different themes. PJ went for the 3D Mario approach. I kind of have a lot of multiplayer stuff, and then Mac is going for the big single-player campaigns. So this will be interesting to see. These final 2 rounds, I mean, 1.8 rounds, because I already picked one. But
I think
the
they're
final
all
2 rounds are
super
gonna be
even
big.
right now. I think Thomas's is a little ahead of me and PJ's, just like by a hair. But I think
Smash
they're all,
and Mario Kart is
that's such a duo. That
ridiculous.
is such a duo. Yeah.
Although
Those kids are going to be great in the
unfortunately-
league. Truly.
Yeah, they're going to be great. To rain on my parade, though, a little bit, I did just pick Pokemon Scarlet as my 4th round pick, and I don't pick again until the next round of the draft. Or the last pick of
final.
the draft, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pick at the end. You guys both have 2 picks before I do, so I'm going to be picking from the scraps here.
Okay. I don't think this is going to be a popular pick with, or maybe it is. I don't know our audience, but
Don't
I
do
think I think this game has slipped pretty far down the list just because of like recency bias. I'm picking Metroid Dread.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew you were going to pick that. I literally was about to
That's
say.
such a good pick.
Oh, no! It's still not Mac's turn. It's PJ's.
What? What are we doing here? Oh my god!
The draft board is in general chat. The draft board
I like
is
to
in
throw a challenge. I like to throw a challenge on the play. What
Would you
is-
like to protect? Would you like to protect Metroid Dread from PJ's pick, so you could just pick it after he picks his? Is that like what you're challenging for?
Do I
I
have
don't
2
even
picks
know.
right now?
Well,
That's my
PJ,
question.
Yeah,
Were you
PJ,
get-
you
were
have
you-
2 picks.
Oh my god, bro. Oh. Well,
Hey.
PJ, what's up? No, I'm gonna let PJ pick. I false started. It's all right. I false started.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, boy.
So for
Getting heated already.
so for my first pick here, man, I think I'm gonna have to go with. This might not be really popular, and I don't even know if you guys have played this, but Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which I got recently.
Okay.
Oh my god, that is an amazing pick.
Because amazing graphics is changing Kirby, is super fun, great music, like everything about the game, amazing, loved it, so gotta go with that for sure.
I love that pick.
Yeah, that's
I think
a
it's
great
an
pick
amazing.
by you.
Yeah. I didn't even have it on my list, and I think it's because I just like completely forgot about Kirby like in general. But I think that's I'm honestly disappointed that I didn't have that on my board. I think that's a great pick.
And
so
so
now
for
it's
my
Mac's
final
turn.
pick.
No,
Do I not go
PJ.
twice?
It's my
Okay.
pick. No,
No,
I go
you
twice
never go
now.
twice.
ahead.
You're second in the snake.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's in
I'll
general.
just-
Sure. Oh, I see that.
I'll go with Metroid Dread. We can use the first part for the short, but I think for PJ later on while he's editing. But I think this game just kind of revitalized Metroid in a lot of ways. I think the game is stunning. I think it's extremely fun. And I think again it's another amazing single player adventure on the Switch. So that's why it's my 4th pick. And my 5th and final pick. Okay, I've got 2 more games on my board. I'm trying to decide which one to go for.
Okay.
I think I know what you're gonna do. But
What do you think
see.
I'm going to do, PJ?
Well, I'm not gonna tell you, but I think I know what you're
Alright.
gonna do.
I'm going with Mario Party Superstars.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
He's a fan.
I'm going with Mario Party Superstars because It is the most fun I've ever had with Mario Party because I haven't played any of the originals, so that's kind of my whole thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think all the boards are great, all of the mini games are great. It needs more, and that's always a good thing in my opinion. Wanting more of something, so
yeah, that makes complete sense. I mean, that's a great pick, and it fits with your team really well. Now you kind of have that couch co-op, like messing around with your friends thing, because you had some big single player hitters between Breath of the Wild, 3D All Stars, New Horizons, and then Metroid Dread. So I think this is a huge pick for you.
Awesome, love to hear that. All right, I'm curious where you guys go because I had one more game on my list, and I'm curious if you guys end up picking it.
Yeah, I mean this is PJ. So
yeah.
Oh, this is hard. We have to take a look at the prospects here. I really hope Thomas doesn't take this one game. All right. I'm going to have to go. This is going to be a shock because this literally just came out, and I'm going to kind of piggyback off of Max. Metroid, it's your last pick, yeah. Metroid Prime Remastered, because the Prime games are amazing, and they look incredible on the Switch, or the other two will as soon as they're out, because they definitely will be, because this is so loved. So, I mean, nothing to say, because this game has been out for so long, but it's even better now. So that's the last pick.
Wow. My exact thought process for why I was going to take that in the pick right after yours is it's a high quality, short and sweet single player experience, which is just what my team is completely lacking right now.
Yeah.
My two single player games that you can play alone consistently are Splatoon 3 and Pokemon Scarlet, and both of those are like completable technically, but it's not like a short, and like you got to do a lot of grinding in order to 100% them, and I don't want that. But man, that's tough. Okay, I'm in a bit of a pickle here for my final pick. I have two 2D platformers that I am deciding between. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is my favorite 2D platformer of all time, and I think that's an excellent pick, but I have to go and acknowledge the replayability of Super Mario Maker 2.
That was going to be what I was going to pick. That was my... That's the other one on my board. I think that's a great pick for you, honestly. I think Mario Party, and not Mario Party, Mario Maker, it has to be on this list. It's incredible. There's an infinite amount of levels possible to be played in that game. So, like... I think that's a great pick.
Yeah, and people forget it has a 80-plus level single-player campaign made exclusively by Nintendo, which feels almost as good as a new 2D Mario because the levels, again, are made by Nintendo, and Mario Maker 2's level creator is so robust that like you don't feel the limitations as much as maybe you would in like other games with level creators. So it definitely works. It pains me letting Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze go because it is my favorite 2D platformer of all time, and it does have everything else I'm looking for. It's got that completionist mentality. There's a lot of collectibles. It's engaging from start to finish. It's a challenging game, but Mario Maker 2, just for replayability's sake, has to be joining my list here. It was a tough fight by Donkey Kong, but unfortunately he's going to be a free agent exiting this draft.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick.
All right. With that out of the way,
recap our picks.
We do.
Yeah, so I think we should just go in order. So Mac, you can go first, PJ, then me, and just go through and say all of your games. Again, they're in general if you're not writing this stuff down on your clipboard.
Yeah. All right. So my first pick was Breath of the Wild, then Super Mario 3D All Stars, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Metroid Dread, and Mario Party Superstars. That's
an incredible lineup you have there.
I'm honestly super happy with how it turned out. At the beginning, I was kind of getting worried. Like, I felt like after my New Horizons pick and seeing, like, I don't know, I wasn't too confident, but I think I kind of made up for it on my last couple picks. So,
true.
Yeah, I respect that. I mean, the single player lifestyle is just oozing through within your picks, and then the fact that you added in Superstars at the end, which is a game literally anyone can play together, it kind of ties a bow on the whole thing. I really respect your game plan there. Yeah, PJ, want to list off your team?
I do. I forget my third pick. Who remembers?
It's again. It's in the general chat, bro. I've said this maybe 7 times.
It's actually in the welcome chat.
I was gonna say it's just not. Like, come on, dude.
Okay.
I
can't see. I got the webcam over my Discord. All I can see is the chat like box itself.
There we go. Now I got it. Okay. So full team, we got Super Mario Odyssey. We have Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. We got Splatoon 2, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and lastly, Metroid Prime Remastered.
I like the picks. The one thing I worry about is there too much overlap there between 3D World plus Bowser's Fury and Odyssey? It was, in my opinion, it was honestly more of a defensive pick to take 3D World to just prevent me from getting that on my roster. But you
weren't gonna get it. I was gonna pick that next.
Okay, well, so that makes sense. Yeah. I never in a million years was I.
I mean, you can make the argument that these games are very different though, because 3D World you can have power ups, and Odyssey, you kind of don't. I mean, you have the captures.
It's really 3 completely different games.
Exactly. So it's actually
they all
kind of
control differently.
But Mac has
it is smart.
Mac technically has 7 games because of 3D All Stars.
True. That is a 7, good point, PJ. Thanks for campaigning for me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I've got. Yeah, that's.
Thomas took Smash, so I gotta root against him here. Honestly, it was a very toxic pick. Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, PJ, I love your team. Mac, I love your team, but I think mine clearly wins, and you guys can prove that in the poll. We're starting off with 2 absolute heavy hitters: Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I mean, need I say more? That is the Shaq and Kobe of this roster right there. I mean, those are 2 unbelievable picks starting off the board, and that's just luck of the draw getting third in the snake draft. But hey, I mean that's the way the cookie crumbles. Coming in next, my next pick was Splatoon 3, which adds a little bit of online. I respect it, but I needed to add some online replayability to that because Smash Bros. Online is not playable.
I'm trying to think if there's an online game past that's better though.
Well, there's not. There's a.
I don't think
there's a local multiplayer game that I thought you guys were gonna take. I thought you guys were gonna take Mario U Deluxe for sure.
Not over Mario Maker 2.
No.
At least one. I thought one of you was gonna take it because there's like so many levels and
Yeah.
Mario
and there's
Maker 2
that's
more,
another
so.
game with a whole other game in it. Luigi U is in that game. Super Luigi U. So
yeah,
that's a good point.
That's a good pick.
But yeah, then Splatoon 3, maybe my most controversial pick on the board, but I don't personally think so because the next one is more controversial. We got Pokemon Scarlet. I know that seems a little heinous, but if you just look at the team as like holistically, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, great couch co-op games, Splatoon 3 and Pokemon Scarlet, games you can play for hundreds of hours and still not complete, and then we round it all out with Super Mario Maker 2, a literally endless game. I think my team is going to be pretty much unbeatable, but I will grant you guys the stage to campaign either against me or for yourself to try and win over some votes before we end this segment.
I definitely like your team, but I don't know. I think mine definitely grew on me. I was kind of a hater at first. I was like, damn, I really fumbled this. But I think Breath of the Wild is leagues and bounds above every single one of these games, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think that's like, the Tom Brady of, the entire draft. So I think that's great. Then after that, you get 3D All-Stars, 3 of the best 3D Mario games of all time, Animal Crossing New Horizons, a cultural phenomenon. And then after that, you get Metroid Dread, one of the prettiest looking 2D platformers I've ever seen in my entire life. And then Mario Party Superstars, a collection of the greatest mini games and boards in Mario Party history. I think my team is extremely stacked.
I agree. I mean, PJ, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe that Thomas thinks that he has the best list, yet he has a broken video game on the list.
Wow.
Hold on. Which actually, the DLC is higher priced than the Booster Course Pass. It's actually almost double the price of the Booster Course Pass. So the game is buggy. There's tons of issues.
How much is the DLC?
Is much overpriced. I believe it is $40, and Booster Course Pass is $24.99. So not sure what the process there was with taking a broken video game, but I mean, hey, learn from it, come back.
I think it's playable.
See what happens.
It's glitchy, but it's playable, and the core gameplay
I would know,
loop just complements my guy as well.
Yeah, Yeah, that is fair. That is fair.
Perfect. All right. So, as we said before, check the community tab. We might actually put this on the Switch Stop community tab just for convenience sake, so more people see it and more people vote. But yeah, check the Switch Stop community tab. Check the Nintendo Tonight community tab. This should be out within a couple hours.
Places.
Yeah, it'll be somewhere. And we'll let you guys know where that is. But yeah, I think that was a great first draft for the Nintendo Tonight.
That was super fun.
It was.
I loved doing that.
Board. Yeah, I can tell it's gonna get a lot more, not aggressive, but a lot more. I guess aggressive is the right word. A lot more.
I think aggressive is the right word. Yeah.
Aggressive and competitive. I think is what I'm going for.
Yeah.
As we move on to some of the other draft boards we got lined up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
especially when I go first next time. So.
Wow! I think you'll have a great time in third, man. Because I think people remember.
I was gonna say
Smash Ultimate.
Like I have two
Deluxe.
3D Marios. Like it's actually kind of clear.
Breath of the Wild. Like I don't know what you're doing.
But 2D
All right,
Mario,
we'll see.
3D Mario's like, come on now.
We'll see.
We'll see who comes in second after I come in first. And with that out of the way, we'll move on.
Stop.
I'm such a prick, bro. With that out of the way, we'll move right along. I think, yeah, again, great draft. Let us know not only who won in the poll, but if you want to see more of these. Too bad if you don't, because I had a lot of fun with that, so we're gonna do at least a couple more.
We're doing it again. Yep.
Yeah, and then drop in the comments what you want to see us drafting, like what category. We did best Switch games, but there's so much more we could do, and you guys always have great ideas. So let us know. Anywhere you can find us at Nintendo Tonight on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, literally anything. With that out of the way, that was a lot of fun. But you know what else was a lot of fun? For about 12 minutes or so, Eiji Aonuma sitting at that white void, wherever that is, some Nintendo office, playing The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. First of all, he announced at the beginning the game is officially gone gold. It is 100% completed. Congrats to the entire team that worked on that. Not that they listened to this anyway, but I'm sure that was a massive undertaking. Because the first thing I just want to say is, wow, this game looks phenomenal. I know it's in Breath of the Wild's engine. I know it's, all that. But when you're skydiving down from the Sky Islands, man, I cannot believe that the Nintendo Switch can run that. Like a tablet with a chipset from 2015, extremely impressive. And I'm sure that there's all sorts of secret hidden loading tricks, like the fact that when you get on one of those rocks and then use the recall ability to send it on up, and it takes, a while because it's loading up. I'm sure that's when they're deloading all of Hyrule and then reloading all of the Sky Islands. But whatever, it's still seamless enough there's no loading screens in the entire game, and you can go so high up. It's so cool. It's just really impressive what they're doing here. I think besides that, like, the mechanics they showed were really cool, and there's a lot of stuff we can get into on that, but like, I'm just really excited for this game, man. Is that just me, or is like I'm like more excited for this game than I have been any game within since maybe 3D World?
I'm in a weird predicament right now because I am excited for the game, but I don't have that feeling. I don't know what it is.
Really?
I don't know. It feels like it's probably going to be one of those things where I'm going to have to just jump into it and then I'll be excited. But I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just I don't know. It looks good. It definitely looks good, and I'll be playing it. I'll probably have an amazing time. I just don't have that feeling right now. So I guess I don't know. What do you think, PJ?
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not the biggest Zelda fan. Definitely will be picking this game up though, because it's incredible. Breath of the Wild 1. If it's going to be anything like that game, and obviously we can see that it is. It's gonna be amazing. So I'm kind of on the same boat as you, to where it's this is actually my first time seeing this, because I didn't watch any of the presentation or whatever. So yeah, excited, but not super hyped just yet. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, I totally get that. And there's a lot of stuff we'll talk about this game, but I just do want to bring up something that I think is really important, and it's this is as good a place as any to let the fans know. So you guys all know that with Nintendo Switch Online, you can use different game vouchers. You buy them for $100 US, and then you get 2 of them and can redeem them for 2 separate games. Now, normally this saves you $20 because you spend $100 and then get 2 $60 games. But Breath of the Wild 2, aka Tears of the Kingdom, is actually one of those games that they're allowing you to get. So it'll save an additional $10. So I've bought a set of 2 game vouchers for $100. I'm spending one of them on Tears of the Kingdom and then one of them on any other game, any other $60 game I want, and therefore I'm paying $100 and getting $130 worth of game. That's a $30 sale that Nintendo is just giving any Nintendo Switch Online member. So just want to let you guys know about that. It is, in my
that's
opinion,
a really good idea. Yeah,
that's great.
It's a great deal. But yeah, it's just something, keep in mind if you're buying this game and plan on buying any other Switch game within 12 months before the voucher expires. But I guess with that out of the way, I think what got me most excited from the Tears of the Kingdom gameplay demo is not just the mechanics themselves, but what it looks like you can do with said mechanics. Like, I kind of knew that they were going to do a crafting mechanic because with the, weapons in the trailer, you could see them attached to, random stuff. But the fact that you can craft with any material or anything that's out on the, in Hyrule, or when you're making a boat, you can pick up any log that you chop down from a tree. It doesn't have to be a special thing. You don't go into a menu for it. You just place it together. The fluidity of it all just means to me that in this game, you're going to be able to do so much more than we can even comprehend right now. The potential is really what's getting me super excited about this game, because I don't know if you guys have seen those clips on Reddit and whatnot of people doing insane trick shots in Breath of the Wild. They're launching themselves with stasis.
Yep.
The internet is going to not even break this game. They're just going to mold it to be whatever they want, and there's so much potential opportunity there for unique ways to solve puzzles and all that. It just looks so cool. Look at that. He just built a raft, and that's the most basic thing that they're showing off in the gameplay demo. You could probably make working machines in this game, which is so cool. And I think that's what's got me most excited. It's like a canvas for your own creativity.
Yeah, I've got 100% agree with that. The whole fusing thing and creating your own vehicles was probably the most excited I got watching this entire trailer. It kind of reminds me of almost Redstone in Minecraft. Like you said, there's gonna be weird machines and stuff people are gonna make. I can definitely see entire YouTube channels being made around the fusing mechanic being used in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
The content possibilities I think are basically endless for that. I'm very excited to see what people do with that.
For sure. I mean, it looks so exciting. Speedrunning is gonna be insane for this game, and speedrunning is just gonna be insane for this game, and I'm just really excited to see what people do with it. Now I'm not as mechanically in tune as some of these obviously speedrunners, but I just can't wait to see it. Something that stood out to me though was Ascend. I know that we saw this in one of the first trailers, but now we have a name for it. I think there's also a lot of potential with this in terms of being able to go up to the sky and seeing what kind of platforming and stuff like that is up there. Maybe there's a sky dungeon centered around the Ascend mechanic. Who knows? So that's a huge potential as well. We can talk about this for hours because the stuff that they showed is, a 13-minute sample size, yet we have so many ideas for what could be in this game, and it's just insane to think about. And like you said, this is 2015 kind of tech from Nintendo, and it looks amazing. What can you say? It's just amazing. Yeah. So excited.
It looks so good. You can see this shot right now of Link skydiving. You can, glide, you can dive faster. That sort of thing just is incredible that they're loading, so much of the land and the land above the land with a 2015 tablet. It's just very impressive.
Yeah.
And I think the coolest thing to me about this trailer was that they're solving gameplay problems from the original Breath of the Wild in a unique Nintendo way. So a lot of people hated weapon durability. They thought weapons broke too much. Well, we're not going to allow you to maybe directly repair your weapons through a menu, but if you fuse that stick to a rock, then boom, it's a lot more durable. Or hey, people got tired of climbing. Climbing in the rain was a hassle. So instead, we're going to add this ascend ability, so where if you find the right spot, like a cave in the mountain, you can jump up through the ceiling and then get all the way to the peak. That sort of thing is just so cool because it's Nintendo's genius way of kind of innovating beyond what people originally thought the solutions to these problems would be and making it a new mechanic rather than just a simple, patch solution.
Yeah, I agree with that. Unfortunately, like part of like what I enjoyed about Breath of the Wild was like exploring through like I don't know. One of my favorite parts was probably like climbing. I thought it was like a puzzle where you try and find like a little ledge where you can like stand to regain your stamina and then like keep climbing. So I understand because a lot of people like were frustrated by that. So I like that they took the route of trying to fix a problem through a mechanic instead of like not acknowledging it at all. So I think it's cool. I don't know. I think the mechanics and the Sky Islands, I don't understand. Okay. I thought about this the moment I heard they were named the Sky Islands. They should have been called the Skylands.
Oh, you're right.
True.
That's a complete...
Isn't that such a better name?
True.
If this was a Splatoon game, that localization team would have been all over that. Those games are filled with that type of pun.
Yeah, I was a little frustrated when I heard that, but no, it definitely looks great. Also, the Sky Islands, they kind of I don't know why there's so many Minecraft references coming for me in this podcast episode, but it kind of reminds me of like the Aether like fake biome or whatever, or
like
dimension
the
from like the
mod,
mods. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I love that aesthetic with like the yellow trees and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah. I like everything about this game just screams creativity. I think this game's main theme, like Breath of the Wild was discovery, Tears of the Kingdom is going to be creativity. Like, imagine this, a trick shot where you set up a bunch of the fans that we already know are in the game, and then you shoot an arrow into one, then boom, boom, boom. It's like bouncing all over the place using the wind as a guiding factor, and then hits a bokoblin in the face. Like, there's so many potential ideas for interesting trick shots, interesting ways to get around. Honestly, this is probably a hot take. I kind of hope that fast travel is not in this game at all. We haven't seen any Sheikah towers to my knowledge, so that would make sense. But I think the fact that you can immediately go up into the air and then just glide to wherever else you want to go, sure, maybe that might get a little old if you're trying to 100% or anything, but between that and horses and the Ascend feature, there's so many unique mechanics in this game for traversal that I don't want to constantly just be fast traveling through loading screens, because I'll do that if it's faster, but it's like less fun and definitely less rewarding feeling to the player.
And less immersive. Like, I definitely, when I was playing Breath of the Wild, part of like, I knew it was faster going through the Sheikah towers, but I always took the liberty of taking a horse because I felt like, I don't know, I felt more immersed in the game, like taking all the dedicated paths for horses and to get from one place to another. So, I don't know. We haven't seen any of them in there, but they're probably in there. Like, I don't know, but yeah, I think that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I was the same way. Like, I took the horse like whenever I could. Like, it's just kind of a love letter to like older Zelda games, like Ocarina of Time, stuff like that. And it's just like nice to be able to have that opportunity. But I think although you guys hope there's kind of not like fast travel in the game, I think a lot of people will probably disagree with you because, like, again, if you are trying to like 100% this game and this massive map of Hyrule and you're having to like maybe go from one end to the other end and there's no fast travel option and you're gonna have to manually go on foot all over there, I think that might get a little like numbed down in like reviews and like people's like overall opinion of it. So for that sake, I do hope that there is like fast traveling, but like, again, like if there is, you can just choose to go on foot or move and travel any way you want because there are so many options in this game, right? So
yeah, I agree with that. But one other ability I don't think we've talked about yet is the rewind feature, and they didn't really touch on it too much. How do you think like that will play out? Because they only showed it like really as like an elevator, but I think it's definitely got more possibilities than that. I just don't know what they are because we haven't seen much of it.
In one trailer, I think it was E3 2021, we saw him rewind like a spiky ball that had rolled down the mountain. He rewinded that back up.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
We could see it used for combat in the same way that in Breath of the Wild, a lot of times there were, especially on the Great Plateau, there were like suspiciously placed bokoblin camps right in a valley with a mountain with a rock on top of it right next to it to kind of guide the player into pushing that. We might see that sort of thing to try and get people to use recall. I could see it being used for like interesting quests too, like if someone's house gets like, I don't know if the recall ability is this powerful, but if someone's house gets like blown over or destroyed or something, you could use a mix of the Ultra Hand building certain parts and then recall, just like rewinding time for certain parts. I also think there is the potential for it to be used in like with alongside the Ultra Hand for building certain things. Like if maybe you build a raft, then it crashes and like it breaks, you can rewind it back together. I'm not sure, but like it's one of those things where like we haven't seen it. We've seen it used as like a glorified loading screen so far. But it definitely just inherently, like because of the nature of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it has so much more potential that we're probably just gonna have to find out on our own, which I'm kind of looking forward to.
I agree with that.
I like that.
Also,
yeah.
do you guys think it's funny that they named it the Ultra Hand, like based on the toy? I love that they did that. I think that's a cool callback. Yeah, the more I talk about it, the more I get excited about it. Like I don't know, the game. Breath of the Wild is already an amazing game, and I think what they did is they didn't really, change it too much, which I was kind of skeptical about. But I think adding more stuff like the fusing ability, I think is going to add so much to the actual experience that it's like they're just building on top of something that's already so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I guess the only other things we can really talk about in terms of Tears of the Kingdom, well, there's a couple things, but one, this didn't show off any story-related things, which I was super happy about. I want to go into the story as blind as possible. I was going to talk about that, yeah. You can take that, PJ.
No, I was just going to say, like, obviously we've seen all of these new, like, gameplay, like, mechanics and abilities that Link has, like, with this arm, but we don't know how his arm became like this. Like, we saw the statue in person, like the glowing green arm at PAX, which audio listeners, there'll be a picture on the screen right now. So if you want to head on over and see what we're talking about, but where we took a picture with the statue or whatever, and we saw the arm. So I'm just excited in terms of like story to see like how that's going to be worked in and like how his arm got like that and just kind of like work through it, So that would be interesting because like there's probably other gameplay like mechanics that we'll see using the arm that weren't revealed here that will be obviously when you play through the game. So
yeah. I totally agree. It's gonna be super interesting. And like on the topic of new mechanics, do we think there are going to be like big new mechanics still yet to be revealed? Like, do you guys think there are going to be like an underground like cave system is something I know a lot of people have talked about. Do you think you'll ever be able to play at Zelda at certain points? Like, do you think there will be big mechanics such as like the building thing that they're still keeping under wraps? Because like
I wouldn't write it off.
They've showed enough in my opinion to where the game could totally stand on its own, but the fact that they've shown enough means to me that like they still probably have more under wraps because I don't think they'd want to show it all off.
No, I agree with that. They're still being super secretive, even though they showed off this trailer showing off the different mechanics. I'm more curious about, are we going to see the return of the old abilities from the first game that were on the Sheikah Slate? Do you think those are cut from this game, or do you think they are like built into the arm mechanic, or what is because we haven't seen any of those, I don't think, in any of the trailers.
I think a mix of both, in my opinion. I think that some will be possibly altered using the arm, but maybe some cut. Like, again, they want it to feel like a new game while also, using kind of like the same map, obviously same engine. Like the game like visually looks the same. Like if you kind of like squint at it and like this game and Breath of the Wild, like you'll be able to kind of say like, okay, these look the same. So obviously they want to have some sort of difference, I would assume, because if it's a sequel, but I think kind of a mix of both. I don't think everything is going to return, but who knows?
Yeah. If I had to guess, I'd say Magnesis, the magnet one where you can move things, that's going to be cut because that's kind of the same as the Ultra Hand, but the Ultra Hand has building. Stasis, the one where you can pause time for an object, I think that's going to be cut because the recall ability does a similar thing with time and also looks visually very similar, so that would be weird from a game design perspective. Cryonis, the ice block freezing one, is the only one I could see making a return because we haven't seen anything related to that. But maybe that will also be gone because they just want you to build boats to cross rivers rather than going block by block by block by block. So I think every mechanic from the Sheikah Slate has kind of already been slightly adjusted in a weird
maybe
Nintendo-esque way. Oh, through the bombs.
I could see all of them being cut. I think they kind of had their time to shine in Breath of the Wild, and maybe the new abilities will be like the forefront. So I'd honestly be fine if they were cut. But
I think the bombs have to make a return.
You think so?
like I feel like maybe some sort of bomb. Maybe it's not the exact same like looking bomb from Breath of the Wild, but like the actual
Maybe you can make a bomb with the fusing mechanic. Who knows?
maybe maybe that honestly you
If
could
you
be
could
totally
craft
right on
bombs.
with that. Because does anybody know a mainline series like Zelda game that has not had bombs at all? Like I can't like think of one off the top of my head. Like I mean, it's kind of like a staple.
No, I think every single one.
like
Yeah,
that
like even
that
on the
and the
NES, you could
bow,
drop bombs.
that and the bow, like every single,
True.
like I can't see that being cut. So maybe it looks different, maybe it works different. Maybe like you said, Mac, it's going to use the fuse mechanic, but they have to be in my opinion.
Also, one last thing, how do you think they're going to like show off the Master Sword, or like how will you get it in this game? Because if it's a sequel, does he like lose it in the like beginning cutscene? Like, is it going back to like the Lost Woods, or I forget the exact name of it, but like
maybe it has something to do with his arm. Like because we don't know anything, right? Like
yeah. And it's definitely going to be in the game. Like,
oh, for sure.
There's no. It's
another one of those things where it's just like it's in every single game. Like it has to be. So
yeah, that's interesting. I think maybe what I'm assuming is the opening cutscene where he's in the dark, and then Zelda like falls down into like Ganon's pit through that cave or whatever, and then Link reaches out to try and save her. Maybe when he does that, he doesn't save her because obviously Zelda has to get kidnapped for this game to work. But then his the Master Sword falls at some point during that, and he loses that as well. And then maybe he gets it as a reward for completing the game, because then he finally ventures back down, defeats Ganon in that cave, and then boom, gets a Master Sword as like the post game reward.
Hopefully there's post game in this game. Do you think there's gonna be post game?
1,000%.
I do. I tweeted this out. I think it's going to be interesting because these sorts of games don't really even lend themselves to post game, because you can kind of do anything in any order you want. So locking content that directly is a little odd. But what I do think there will be, and this would make this the greatest game of all time. What if Tears of the Kingdom has a completionist save Hyrule ending where you go back through, make all the different houses, rebuild all the stone structures that were destroyed in the Great Calamity, you finally get to see Hyrule restored to its former glory, which we all wanted in Breath of the Wild's postgame but never got, and then you get like a full ending cutscene or something based on that, or some reward. That would be unbelievable. Going back through, rebuilding towns, fixing up monuments.
They have the rewind ability, so who knows?
That's the whole point. Like, you have the building with the Ultra Hand. It makes too much sense, and that was my one problem with Breath of the Wild, was how lackluster it felt, because you just saved Hyrule, who, in my opinion, Hyrule plays the main character of that game. Like, Hyrule is more important than Link, Zelda, Ganon, all combined in that game. Hyrule is like the main character. And then Hyrule itself doesn't get any progression, even though you defeat Ganon. Like, literally none. Ganon still appears at the castle after.
I hope we get a castle at some point in the game that's like somewhat rebuilt, because I feel like that's like one of my favorite like mods to like watch YouTube videos is like a rebuilt Breath of the Wild castle. I don't know. I want to see in its former glory.
Yeah, I'd love to see an entire castle town. Because that was a town, and you can go there in Age of Calamity, I believe. But the interesting thing about that is, I don't know if we've seen too many villages in this game, but assuming that somehow all the other villages are back, that might not even be true. But like, the only villages that were human based were, in my opinion, or to my memory, were Lurlin Village, I think, had humans as the main civilians, and then Kakariko and Hateno Village. And those were all small town civilizations. Like, Kakariko was like, a small little area in the forest. Hateno was probably the biggest one up on that like little mountainside, but even then it still wasn't that big. I would love to see a massive, like, bustling, robust town of just like human characters to kind of show that like the human species in Breath of the Wild's universe was like at one point up there and had a lot of like power within the world before Ganon came and took everything.
Yeah. I'm also curious to see like how they do the different like domains or whatever, like because that was kind of like the whole point of like Breath of the Wild. You go to one of the villages or locations, and then you fight the ancient beasts. I think they're called divine beasts. And then you go through all those and beat the game. I wonder how they're going to play into it, the story and everything. So
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually, now that we're talking about it, I'm extremely excited for this game.
Yeah. I have a bold prediction here. So I think the 4 villages that housed the original Divine Beasts in Breath of the Wild are all going to be back, but Rito Village will have been lifted up into the sky and is going to be on one of the sky islands. It makes too much sense. They're birds.
Oh,
that is
They
true.
have to be in the sky.
Yeah, I like that idea.
That's such a good idea. Yeah.
I think that would be a great... If the villages are in the game and Rito Village isn't even higher up than it already is, because obviously it's on top of a mountain peak in Breath of the Wild, that would be one of the biggest missed opportunities ever, in my opinion. Like, that just makes too much sense. And it,
What if, like, Death Mountain is, like, in the air? Like...
it's not because we've seen it, but it could raise. We don't know. Like
that's actually a good point. Like for what things will raise in the air and what things will stay on the ground.
Yeah, I hope Hyrule is a living, breathing, and changing world in this game.
Yeah.
And I think it will be.
Link. Yeah, I think it will be too. Again, that could be through
exciting.
Link rebuilding stuff. That could be through anything really. But yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say about this game. I'm super excited for it. Everything they showed off looked great. In my opinion, Nintendo knows what they're doing with the marketing of this game. They showed off just enough to get me more excited, but not enough to spoil anything because I'm pretty sensitive to like spoilers in this game. Originally, I wasn't even going to watch the presentation. Yeah, I got nothing else to say on this end, so you guys can round this off. But man, am I excited for this game.
Yeah.
Talking about this made me more excited, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think, when does the game come out? May
12th, I believe.
May 12th? Okay, so that's
14th,
almost a month away.
there.
That's almost a month away. So
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to play it.
Very exciting stuff.
For sure.
Dope. Yeah, it's gonna be huge. We'll see a lot. Like even the fact that you can make like hot air balloons in cars, like it's just so cool.
I think that's
And
probably what I'm most excited about. Like there's so many possibilities for different things you can make in this game. Like I don't know, it's so exciting.
Yeah, no, very exciting indeed. And with that out of the way, I believe we have hit time for today. This should be the new norm of around an hour-long podcast. This one might be just now hitting an hour because we had a little bit of tech difficulties at the start, but that is hopefully going to be the new format, is weekly hour-long podcasts. And then if you've made it this far, I just got to plug stuff for a second because PJ is going to be working really hard on different shorts. So for short-form content, make sure to subscribe to the Nintendo Tonight YouTube channel and the TikTok. We'll potentially make an Instagram too. We'll let you guys know about that in the next episode. That'll be where all our short vertical form stuff lives. PJ is also going to be posting segments, fully edited segments in the style of like a switched up original video, but just taken from the podcast. So you get all the best bits, all the best action. There will be memes in there as well. Those will live on the Nintendo Tonight YouTube channel, along with the visual versions of the podcast. Some of them might be uploaded to Switched Up as well. So if you're subscribed to Switched Up, make sure to turn on notifications so you get all videos, including those potential segments. And yeah, if you're listening on audio, thank you guys so much. Your support is super appreciated. Same with you YouTube viewers. And I mean, I think I covered it all. We got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline for Nintendo Tonight, but I think that's about it for now.
You did cover it all. You're good.
Awesome. All right. Well, with that out of the way, thank you guys so much for listening. This has been episode 43 of Nintendo Tonight, and just anything else from you two? Or are we good?
We are good to go, dude.
Yeah, I think we're good. All right.
Beauty. All right. We'll see you guys in the next one.